One of the ways to know that you're dealing with a narcissist is to realize how the energy of a room shifts when they come in. And what I mean by that is when you're dealing with healthy people, and if you're having like a group conversation and somebody comes in, the group can generally feel, for the most part, that they can carry on with their conversations, that they can continue to have a good time and feel good about themselves and feel good about each other's presence. But when you have a narcissist who comes into the room, whether it's a meeting or a family gathering, whatever, all of a sudden the conversations that were being had up until the point where the narcissist comes in, there seems to be this subtle shift where the narcissist all of a sudden they exude this energy. It's just a bit dominating, it's a bit negative. It becomes a bit pervasive. If you have a sensitive personality at all, you sense it. Some people who are very, very thick skinned might not even notice. But if you're sensitive in your personality and your ways, you notice this energy being exuded where the narcissist all of a sudden, it's like there's this subtle current where all of a sudden you're careful about the topics you're talking about. You're careful about how much you're laughing, how positive you're being, because it's almost like this person is very fragile and they could be quick to anger. And at the same time, that person tries to preempt anything that might break them because of their fragility or cause them to have a burst of anger. Basically, it's like a part of you is telling you, careful what you do or say because you might upset this person. And this person seems to be quite vengeful and they might try to stab you in the back or at least give you some backhanded comments. So it's this weird heavy energy with narcissists where they don't mind if there's a group of people around them who's laughing, having a good time, provided that the narcissist is either the center of the attention or they're the ones that are steering the conversations that are giving rise to the banter. But if they're not the center of the conversation and they're not the ones who are giving rise to the conversations that are creating this banter, this positive atmosphere, it's almost like you're walking on eggshells around them, and it's this constant unease, and people notice that. And what ends up happening is people tend to have their guards go up. People have tend to have this certain guardedness because a part of them is saying, "Yeah, it's not really worth offending this person's ego. Yeah, it's not really worth upsetting this person because it's just not worth the hassle." And that's why it's difficult sometimes with narcissists in group gatherings is they exude this energy that's kind of like warning people, don't offend my ego and don't give me a narcissistic injury, which in turn means don't be too happy, don't be too excited, don't be too chirpy, unless of course it relates to the narcissist, in which case it's perfectly fine. um yeah, it's one of those things where over time you realize, this is the kind of person you don't really want to deal with. So, over time, narcissists find that people they kind of shy away from the narcissist, and a narcissist realize that people don't really like them as such. They're not likable people. They don't have a likable personality. Of course, they can put on a charm when they want, but it's kind of like unless they're putting on a charm and impressing the crowd, they're happy with that. They're happy if they're putting on a charm and impressing a crowd. But if the crowd's getting on without them and the narcissist is in the center of attention, then the narcissist feels a bit threatened, uneasy, and they can be easily prone to receiving these narcissistic injuries. And then other people sometimes, you can sense the unease of the narcissist when they're in a crowd and they're not feeling good. And it's almost like, oh, if you say something slightly wrong to upset them, they might hold that against you later. And while most narcissists, it's like, it's not like they're gonna go out and cause you a lot of harm, but at the same time, you're like, why do I want to deal with this person who just carries themselves in a negative fashion, and they just have this uncontrollable negative energy, where either they control the room or they're not happy being in the room. That's why I always say, if you can avoid them, just avoid them. It's easier. Thanks for watching.